So right now you can see I've already placed my pepper the way it should be. So one thing I want you to note is this is how our pattern was before we slashed and spread. Can you see? This is how the pattern was before we slashed and spread. Okay, so it was straight, kept straight. That is what I'm trying to. We have everything like this, and this is the dart we cut off. So when you are spreading, you don't go spreading anyhow. Okay, the first thing you do is to make sure that this line on the bust point is on a straight line. You can make a straight line on your pepper, your brown pepper, and place this on a straight line. The only part that will move is the slashed line. You can see me moving the slashed line, so we'll be able to add the fullness. So for us to get a perfect, fullness, it was that part is gathered. I would want to use 2.5 inches for my gathers. Okay, so I make a mark at 2.5, and I come in with number 5 and I place it at 2.5. Okay, so you apply your adhesive and you place exactly to match up at 2.5. You can see the 2.5 line. Now I'll come down again from here at another 2.5, and at this point I'm going to apply my adhesive and place my slashed line at 2.5. So as you are doing that, make sure you have this straight, okay, up to that point, just as I'm doing now. So the next is another 2.5. So as you are moving it at the 2.5, it will just be moving on its own. So this is the 2.5, and I apply my adhesive to number 3, and I'm going to place my 2.5. I keep moving from the 3. I measure 2.5. You can also do 2 inches if you don't want the gathers to be much, okay? But I feel 2.5 will give us what we have right there on the thumbnail. So if you don't want it so much, they gather so much, you can do 1.5, you can do 2.5. So you can see what I did. From the 2.5 for number 2, I will measure another 2.5. Can you see? If I measure another 2.5, that will give me my last line. So that is that, and we are done slashing and spreading. So what I have right here on the slashed line, you can see that from here I'm going to connect this, and I'm going to connect this, and it terminates at that point. From here I'll connect it to meet up with the dart, because that is where we cut out the dart from. So we want to cut what we have on our slash and spread line. So remember that what we have here, 2, if you want, you can, but me, I'm thinking we should just, not add more fullness. Okay, the fullness we have is okay at this point. So I will want to apply my adhesive and bring this a little closer. Okay, so but if you want to add more 1.5 for this, you can do that, but I think what we have is okay at this point. So the next thing I want to do now is to cut. So I'm going to cut now, and I'm cutting from here. Can you see that? I'm cutting from this point to that dart, and I will come in from the waistline here, and I will cut the space of the dart once again. Can you see that? So that is what you are expected to have. Then you cut off the rest of your pepper. So I'll just cut off rest of my pepper from this point. Okay, so on the side as well, I will just hold down with my adhesive on the side as well, and then I will cut what I have on this side. Alright, so this is what we have at the end of the day. So all you are going to do now, this is how your pattern for the front is going to look like. So the way it is now, you'll be adding your seam allowance of 0.5 inch on your fabric. You add it this way to this point, add to this point, add 0.5. That is the main the right way to do that. So once you have added, you go to your machine when you want to sew this dress and run your gather stitches and gather this. We are gathering this into this. Can you see? So once you gather it, you can see the gathers. Okay, so all you do is to lay the back of this like this, which is the dart, and sew at 0.5. Can you see that? You sew at 0.5. So once you sew this at 0.5, can you see? It forms what we have on the thumbnail. And once you sew that, you also come this way and sew this. Remember, we have not added our seam allowances. So you sew like this. But I want you to note that when you are sewing this dress, we have a flounce, and that particular flounce we have right there, you are going to construct your flounce. I have a detailed video on this channel on how to make a flounce. Okay, how to make a flounce. So this is how a spiral flounce looks like. Can you see? So if that is what you are using for this particular dress, I'll just use this little demonstration to show you. Once you have cut your flounce, okay, once you have drafted your flounce, okay, of course it should be more than what I'm using to demonstrate, but I just want to show you how that flounce is sewn. Okay, so you cut in through your spiral flounce. So once you cut in through your spiral flounce, it forms your flounce. You can see it's forming my flounce. So you have added your seam allowances and you have gathered, okay, and you have sewn. Now once you have sewn this part, next is to come in with your flounce. Your flounce will be sewn right here, as you can see it on the thumbnail. On the waistline it will be sewn. Like I said, remember, we have not okay, added our seam allowance. And another thing is, on this we are going to take away the 1 inch dart. Remember, we added a dart accordingly, so make sure you take away this 1 inch dart which we cut off. I'm going to take it away first. So from here I take it away and I come in with my pattern curve ruler and I will connect it. So this is the dart I'm taking away now. You can see that. So people, I'll cut it off accordingly before I add my side seam allowance. Okay, so I've taken away the dart which we cut off at this point. Then remember, I have 0.5 inch which I folded because this should be matching on the waistline. Okay, after you have added your seam allowance, everything should be matching accordingly like this. So you add your seam allowance, you gather, you sew. Can you see? So once you sew this, you have the fullness. You can see the slash and spread at this point. You come in with your with your flans, you sew the flans, okay? You are going to sew your flans length, right? You can see how I'm putting the flans. So once you sew the flans on this, you stitch this to it as well. This part will be sewn on the side, and the rest of the flans will be dropped, will drop very long to the skirt. So once you make your skirt and wear your skirt, you'll be using your presser button, okay? Your press button to press this on the skirt side of the skirt to form what we have on the thumbnail. So I believe you learned a lot from this tutorial and from this explanation. So the back is very simple. Just a kimono back, and you sew it, attach it. Okay, so make sure your flans is sewn first for the front. Your flans has to be sewn and sewn to the side before you join your back to it. Okay, all right people, so that is how we come to the end of this tutorial. So I believe you learned a lot once again, and remember to put your zipper at the back of your blouse, okay? Then you'll be sewing your skirt differently. Once you wear your skirt, you can use your press button. You can also sew, they call it husband and wife, to attach the length of the flans to the skirt. I believe you understand that. So thank you very much for watching, and this is how we come to the end of this tutorial. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, and drop your comments on the comment section and your suggestions as well. So thank you for coming once again, and see you in the next video. Bye.